Imagine being 10 years old, standing in your driveway clutching a single $50 bill while your dad waves goodbye from a rideshare, heading off for a 3-week work conference across the country. "You're a big kid now, Mia," he called with a grin. "Handle things like a pro." That was it. No sitter, no relatives, no real plan, just me in a house that suddenly felt way too big. I'm Mia, and what started as proving I could door it turned into the nightmare that shattered my dad's world when he came home. Stick around, because by the end you'll see exactly how one overlooked little girl made sure her father never forgot the price of treating her like an afterthought. The door shut, and the silence hit harder than I expected. Dad had left his backup debit card on the counter for emergencies, but when I tried to order pizza that first night, every app flashed card declined. No PIN, no activation. Just me, $50 cash, and a fridge that looked sad even before he left. I told myself it was an adventure. I toasted the last slices of bread, scraped the bottom of the jam jar, and pretended I wasn't scared. By day 4, the adventure felt like a lie. The pantry had 2 cans of soup I couldn't open without the electric can opener Dad took with him by accident, a half box of stale crackers, and a bag of frozen peas I ate straight from the freezer because cooking felt impossible. My stomach ached constantly. I kept the TV blaring just to hear voices. At night, I left every light on so the house wouldn't feel so empty. That's when I started my log. I grabbed an old sketchbook and wrote on the first page in thick marker, "Proof." Underneath, I listed everything: date Dad left, the $50, the useless card, no check-in calls. I even filmed short clips on my tablet. Day 5, I whispered to the camera, showing the bare shelves. Still no word from Dad. "If anyone finds this, tell them I tried to be okay." The caseworker explained the emergency order. I'd stay with Mr. Patel temporarily. Supervised visits only. Parenting classes. Court dates. Dad kept saying, it was just a few days extra. I thought she could handle it. But the truth was on the table in black ink and frozen peas. In court weeks later, the judge listened to my statement. I didn't cry. I just told the truth. Custody stayed limited. Dad didn't lose all rights, but he lost the freedom to treat parenting like an optional subscription. Now I live with Mr. Patel and his family. I'm learning to cook real meals, to ask for help without shame. Dad writes long apologies, shows up to supervised visits early, eyes red. Maybe one day things will heal. Maybe not. But when he walked through that door expecting gratitude for trusting me, he got the shock of his life, a daughter who refused to stay silent. Every empty shelf, every skipped call, every shaky video became undeniable proof. So ask yourself, if you were 10, abandoned with $50 and a promise you were big enough, would you protect the parent who left you, or would you make sure the truth hit harder than any punishment ever could? I almost texted my aunt, but what would I say? Dad ditched me. I didn't want to be the kid who couldn't handle things. So I stayed quiet, growing weaker, angrier, and more determined to remember every detail. On day 8, the doorbell rang. I froze, crumbs on my shirt, heart racing. Through the peephole I saw Ms. Rivera, my school social worker, holding a folder. She'd been calling Dad's number with no answer. I could have hidden, pretended nobody was home. Instead, I opened the door. "Mia, may I come in?" she asked softly. Something in her kind eyes made the words spill out. I told her everything. She saw the kitchen, the log, the frozen peas thawing on the counter. Her face changed from concern to quiet fury. "This isn't okay," she said. "You shouldn't have to manage alone." She called it abandonment. Said there were rules, laws, people whose job it was to protect kids. For the first time, the idea hit me. Dad could actually face consequences. Within hours, our next-door neighbor Mr. Patel arrived with groceries. The school got involved. A caseworker came, took photos, asked gentle questions. I showed them my log, let them copy pages. I recorded one last clip, the full fridge Mr. Patel helped stock, the caseworker's notepad, the official forms. "This is what happens," I said to the camera, "when someone finally notices." Dad cut his trip short. When he walked in 4 days later, expecting a quiet kid and a clean house, he found a room full of adults instead. The caseworker laid out the evidence, my log, the photos, the card statements, the lack of any check-in texts beyond a single thumbs-up emoji from his hotel. He tried to laugh it off. Mia's independent. We had food, money, she's fine. But when they played my videos, his face crumpled. Hearing my small, shaky voice describe hunger and fear broke something in him.